What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Player One POV. It's been a crazy week in gaming news last week. A lot of exciting new gameplay reveals, new trailers, and big announcements. Some games have me really excited, others not so much. I just love this time of year when we can look at what's coming up, what new titles, what are the big publishers making, and what can we look forward to. What's completely new IP that we've never heard of. So, without recapping all of last week, I just really want to talk to you about what stood out to me. So, without further ado, let's talk about Sony's state of play. All right, first up, we've got Wolverine. Wolverine, wow. I'm really excited about this one. It looks way better than I thought it would. And I love the fact that it doesn't seem like your typical superhero game with a big open world. It looks fairly linear. It felt like Uncharted with Wolverine claws. With all the details with the blood and the action, the gore, they really did not dial it back, and I actually really love that. I also love the collaboration of Wolverine partnering with like Jean Grey, and I'm curious to see other people that he works with and how way those combos go into each other and all the impalement and dismemberment. It was really cool seeing him like self heal. Did think it was a little weird that his suit like repaired itself, but then again, I'm not really sure if that's a part of the comic book lore. I'm not a comic book expert here. I mean, I love comics, I love Marvel, but yeah, it just really excites me. I really wish this was coming to PC as a new PC gamer, having just built my PC this year, man, this game would have looked gorgeous on PC. But the graphics here really show you that PlayStation 5 still has it. You're probably looking at the best of the PlayStation graphics with the latest model with all the PlayStation Pro and all of that. But this looks gorgeous. And honestly, Sony has something here to actually make you glad that you own a PlayStation 5. All right, next up, we've got Bancho the Chef, if I'm pronouncing that right. But what stood out to me is a sushi game, a food making game. I don't normally play games like this, but a sushi game with a black character with an afro. I was impressed by that. I don't normally play games that are kind of more on that casual side, but this really stood out to me a lot, and I'm definitely going to be checking it out, and I'm excited to see what else comes with that. And next, we've got Kimuri Hunt the Unseen. This game looks really cool. I love the fluid animation. I love the art style. I just am always really excited when there's a promising, good looking game out there that's not just like this hyper realistic game. I feel like gaming really leans on realism because of what's possible with our graphics today. But this game looks super fluid. The multiplayer aspect seems really interesting, and I'm glad to know when I like Googled it that it wasn't just like a live service game. Been a ton of those, and I'm glad to see that's kind of dying down. This game looks really promising. Love the little Japanese supernatural element to it. So I'm really excited to see more of that and what comes with that. All right, moving on. Onimusha Way of the Sword. All right, this one looks really good. I've never played any of the Onimusha games, but the fact that they have a demo available and ready to go, say less. So I checked it out, and really, this gameplay is really good. I'm definitely gonna like buy this. It may not be like a day one purchase for me, but Capcom has just been on a roll lately with games, and honestly, they've been putting out bangers after bangers after bangers. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Really excited to play more of it, like the ending of it, the final boss fight of the demo. I love games with samurais in it. So and the whole Japanese spiritual element, it's just say less. It's really exciting. It really plays well. And honestly, if we can see more games that are potentially coming out with demos, game demos, you cannot get enough of just game demos coming out. So I love this trend, and hopefully we see more of that. All right, last but not least for the state of play, God of War Lefay, if I'm saying that right. This one looks epic to me. Like the details, the gameplay, the combat, it's that Kratos style of gameplay like they showed before, but with more speed because you're not using that heavy handed Kratos with the big axe. For me, I know I'm not a purist. Don't crucify me, but I know I'm not like the classic game purist of like the original trilogy and all of that. I came into God of War from the newer God of War games and God of War Ragnarok. Like that's my God of War for me. So I'm not one of those gamers that's salty about playing a dead mom game or whatever. It looks really good. I get it. She's not Kratos, and I get that we want our series to stay the same. And I do feel like, yeah, there's this tug and pull in the gaming industry right now where we're trying to revision stories, and maybe the audience feels like it's changing. But I do think there's something here. The gameplay is really good. The graphics look really great. It is a little wacky. It felt like I was watching a Marvel movie watching that trailer, like a cube named Frank and a talking ribbon sword. It was a little wacky, but I'm excited about it, and I have some speculation of where this could actually go, with Faye being like in the afterlife and trying to fight her way through. Could she like come back to life by this adventure? I don't know. I have this crazy theory that maybe her and Kratos and Atreus could like come together, and that could make an epic game itself where you're playing as a family of like these godlike beings. Who knows? Just speculating. I think there's a lot of places that we could take it. It did feel very Marvel-like in a way, some good ways and some bad ways. Yes, the story did feel a little bit out there in a Marvel-ish way, but the gameplay and the action, the combat looked phenomenal. So I'm really excited about this one. Like I said, I'm not gonna let the opinions of people and all of this about it's a female and all of that. I don't think we're gonna have that here. Where it's this game that's trying to be so different that's not good. I don't think that. I think the God of War franchise is just too big to lose that, and it's still a God of War game because the fact that it's in the God of War in the God of War world, that's why it matters because it's in the God of War world. That's why it's a God of War game. So for me, I'm not nervous at all about it. I know I'm not the God of War purist, so saying that as a disclaimer, but I think this is going to be a banger, and this is something that maybe not day one, but this is something I'm definitely going to be playing and definitely excited about having a PS5 for. And so that pretty much summarizes Sony's state of play. It was a pretty strong state of play. Maybe not their best one ever, but a pretty strong one nonetheless. Wolverine and God of War are two titles not to be messed with, and I think Sony needs that right now. Like those exclusive titles that make you glad that you own a PS5. I know for me personally, as a newly found PC gamer, I have not renewed my PlayStation Plus subscription. So if Sony can give me a reason to pick up my PS5 again, I think that's really to their advantage. I think they need to be on that wave before the PlayStation 6 comes around. And so, yeah, I think they did pretty good. A lot of cool things to be excited for. And without further ado, let's move on to Summer Game Fest. Summer Game Fest starts off strong with Resident Evil Veronica, a remake of Resident Evil Code Veronica. And you know what? Capcom's on this generational run right now. Like, not just the Resident Evil games, but from Pragmata to the Resident Evil remakes and all the different things that they're doing, even to newer Resident Evil games like Requiem. I still need to play that. They're just on a good run right now, from the Devil May Cry games to the Resident Evil games to Pragmata, making new IP. They have a lot of great IP with Street Fighter, and just all their games are just straight bangers. And it's none of that multiplayer live service game stuff that's just kind of oversaturated the market. They're just still leading the run and leading the charge with quality good single player games, with some quality multiplayer games. So I'm just not bored with Capcom has to say. And I do need to really play. It's a bucket list thing to play all of the different Resident Evil games, not just the remakes, but the classic ones as well, just to get that authentic experience, you know? Like, I'm just really excited what Capcom is doing. They're probably one of my favorite publishers right now with what they're putting out. They're constantly putting out heat. And so I'm really excited for this next title. And I need to catch up with the other games they've already put out. All right. Next up, Jin Atlas, or Project Robot as it was formerly known as, coming from the creative mind of Fumito Ueda, who gave us Shadow of the Colossus, The Last Guardian. Those are really unique games, and we really need that magic in gaming today. So Jin Atlas kind of has that. It was a really bit of a cryptic trailer in some ways. There's a lot of atmosphere in Robot Wasteland. It's weird to see post-apocalyptic robot worlds. Usually it's people living in post-apocalyptic worlds. But this is an exciting looking game. It still has some of that same flair that the creator has had with ginormous, larger than life creatures or robots. And it picked up in the trailer with some pretty cool action with like shooting off whatever he was fighting off. That looked like some weird white creatures or something like that. But this game definitely has my attention. Definitely curious. Can't wait to see more of it. We need more games like this. Games that just really tickle the imagination and give us original fantasies that we just have not seen before. So, really excited about this one. All right, moving on to Blood Message. All right, I've been loving the Eastern flair we've been getting in games, and not just Japanese historical settings, but also the Chinese and Korean settings we've been getting in gaming lately. This game, I don't have much to say about it, but just near the end, it just kind of gave me goosebumps, and it looks really well. The only thing that makes me nervous is it does kind of remind me of like a game that will come out in the early days of like a console's life cycle. But I know that that's not where we're at right now. Like we're not at the beginning life cycle of the PS5. But it something about it almost felt a little too good to be true. But it did look very cinematic and it did look very good. If that's all gameplay, then man, I'm really excited about this one. And so I can't wait to see more of that one. All right. This next one really excites me. Crossfire. All right, we've got ex Naughty Dog and Infinity Ward devs working together to make you a game that no one really saw coming. This game looks incredible with the movement and gameplay style that it has, being that that's a selling point of the whole like the way the character moves to this adaptive cover they called it. It looks just so dynamic. Like it's a cover shooter that's going to reward you for tactical uh, um, gameplay. I just think that that's really awesome, and I love a good military futuristic style shooter. And I just feel like not only does it have good looking gameplay from what we saw, but it also just looks like it's serving up a really good story, which I feel like doesn't always go hand in hand. You know, you've got the Tom Clancy games that come out that give you that really good third person shooter experience, but then again, they don't always have the story to go with it. This looks like it's going to give you both of those. A really strong shooter, adaptive cover style gameplay with a really good story. And knowing that where some of these veteran developers are coming from, I can only imagine that this is going to serve up a really good story. And it seemed like it led with that. So yeah, really excited about it. Really excited about the technology in the game, the cloaking and all of that. The whole dynamic of two rival soldiers teaming up for some reason. It looks like there's a bit of a zombie survivor situation going on here too. So it just seems like it's offering a lot of different things that are exciting about it. So I can't wait to see where this one goes. Yeah, just really excited about another title coming out. Especially, it seems like devs that leave other companies tend to serve up really good games. They leave behind the bad habits of another company, bring you something fresh, bring you something different. And a lot of times there's just underdogs within those companies that don't get to fully express their creativity. So I'm just really excited to see what comes from this. All right, next up, Virtual Fighter Crossroads. This one really surprised me. So we knew Virtual Fighter, we knew Sega was bringing back Virtual Fighter, but the fact that there's like this heavy single player story element, wow. I gotta say, I'm excited about that. I feel like fighting games have gotten a little bit dull with just solely focusing on primarily a multiplayer experience. I know that we've seen a little bit of bells and whistles added to different fighting games these days. You know, the latest Street Fighter has done a lot to kind of make things interesting with its narrative mode and all of that. But the reality is that I think that fighters can do a lot more, especially with all these cool characters they give you. It's crazy that it has to be Virtua Fighter to do that, but we'll see how this goes because it looks very like single player focused. That I'm almost thinking, okay, what about the multiplayer experience part of it? Because I want to see that too. Where does that balance off? How well does that go together? I'm not saying that they're ditching it. From what they've shown in the past, it looks like that's still a thing. But man, but anyway, Virtua Fighter is no stranger to narrative. If you look back in the past between the dialogue that they've had with the, I think, what is it, J6 organization or whatever, don't quote me. There's the deep, rich lore to Virtua Fighter, and knowing that games like Shimue have like, or Shenmue, sorry, has like this story that's based around Virtua Fighter, as well as in a hidden gem, Virtua Quest, which I might make a video on. Virtua Quest also is about Virtua Fighter story. It seems like Sega has always been trying to get Virtua Fighter story out there. And so, yeah, I'm really excited about this. And I think that fighters really need to explore this more, much more. So, really excited about that. Yeah. All right. This one I'm really excited about. Stellar Blade Blood Rain. I just did a video on why people should play Stellar Blade, so it's crazy like how a trailer is out now. I mean, it's not crazy because it's June and all the gaming news is out, but my gosh, this game looks beautiful, and they aired it on PC gameplay. So I'm so happy that I built my PC so I can play this, and I'm so glad it's coming out on PC with PlayStation. That's going to be a huge selling point for a lot of people. It seems like they've maybe really dialed in just this look, and they listen to the fans. The world looks super dense. It looks like maybe we're trading blades for fist. With they had a little switch blade like behind the wrist thing going on here. We'll see. But overall, the world looks gorgeous. The crowds look dense. Just the way it just feels more lived in, and it just looks insanely good. It feels like next gen how good it is, and so I'm really excited about this. I'm glad Shift Up decided to kind of go more independent, and then it's releasing with PC. Right next to console, same time, no year wait. We can go into it. We can have fun with our crazy mods when we want to. We can just get right into it, enjoy those PC level graphics. It feels kind of prequel-ish because the world seems more dense, but from what I'm hearing, it sounds like this is actually a sequel. So I guess we'll see. Maybe there's just another civilization that was going around at the time, but because there's so many people, it does really feel like, in the way the trailer puts it, it kind of makes it feel like the war for humanity just started, and this is when the Natiba came onto the scene, and we're rebelling against Mother Sphere and the Android Eidos thing. This is a spoiler alert, mind you, if you haven't played the game yet. I'm not trying to get super descriptive, but it looks that way. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, but from what I googled, it seems like this is a pure sequel. So either way, no, we're not playing as Eve. We're playing as Evie, which she looks like a really cool character. And like, honestly, I feel like they dialed in the character design and personality even a bit more with this one. So I'm excited. It seems like maybe they dialed down the fan service just a teensy bit. I think this will be more approachable for newer players, and I think this is going to be something that really brings in new players to Stellar Blade. Also, Shift Up, just this character design, this world, Stellar Blade, it's just one of my favorite games out there, probably ever right now. And I'm just so glad this like anime-esque, realistic setting isn't like stuck behind an RPG. Don't take that wrong. Like, I feel like games that have really cool characters are usually stuck behind some kind of JRPG or something like that with poor mechanics. But I'm just so glad Shift Up has taken this action approach to just like this badass action gameplay, these great graphics. It's not hidden behind like choppy mechanics, trying to be an action game, trying to be an RPG. I just love the style that Subblade has. It's very action heavy, and I love that. So really excited about this one. This is probably my favorite announcement of the week. We still got more to cover, but yeah, I'm super excited about this one. This is a day one purchase for me. All right, last but certainly not least, Final Fantasy VII Revelations. It looks like we're finally finishing up the Final Fantasy Remake series. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this one. Okay, you don't be disappointed in me. I have not played the next Final Fantasy, the last Final Fantasy VII Remake game. So I really do need to play that. I need to play all three of these games. I need to go ahead and I played the first one, haven't played the second one. Before this next one comes out, I really need to play this one. I really love what they're doing. I love Final Fantasy VII. I love the aesthetic. It's probably my favorite Final Fantasy. I know I'm coming at this from a casual standpoint because I haven't played the second remake. I actually technically haven't even played the first one. Don't sue me. Like I didn't have a PlayStation growing up as a kid, but I've always adored Final Fantasy VII, Cloud, Advent Children. and all those things. So I'm really excited about this one. It looks like they are just really nailing down the gameplay and like the combat and the action, that balance between the action and the strategy. It doesn't feel like it holds back the dynamics that is Final Fantasy VII and what can be with its characters. And I really love the fit system, like how they're going to combine these different costumes and outfits that give you different strategic values in the game. I love that. I love when we can just like play around with different outfits in the game, dress our characters up. I love that. I'm a sucker for that type of thing. So that really excites me. I really need to do my homework. I have a lot of games that I have to play, but I'm really excited about this new Final Fantasy VII. It looks really good. It looks really great. And yeah, wow, what a way to the first big hurrah of Summer Game Fest, like the first live stream show. Really exciting, really good things that they had here. And so, yeah, I just can't wait. I'm really excited about video games now. This is a really exciting week that it's been with everything that they've had. And so, yeah, they've really led this strong. Overall, a pretty solid week in gaming news. I just love this time of year. I know that some people say it's not the same since E3's been gone, but I think Summer Game Fest has been holding it down. And I'm glad that Sony's State of Play took place live. I just think that, gaming needs that. I think the digital only events take away the tangibility of these reveals. I just love hearing the screams and cheers, even though I'm not there personally. I just think it makes that excitement and that hype that much more tangible, and it feels just like old times. I also think just what's also exciting for me about this time of year is that I get to now share these experiences with you guys. So let me know in the comments what games are exciting for you, whether it's the games that I talked about or something I didn't talk about. Yeah, thanks for hearing me rant about video games. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Player One POV signing off. Catch you later, gamers.